Draw my FSU experience. Growing up, I had always heard, college is where you find yourself. I had always thought this was such a weird statement because for me, college was a place to secure your future, one without having to worry too much about your finances and knowing that you were secure. I would always think, I'll figure that introspection stuff out later. But while attending Florida State, my perspective changed a bit. Instead of seeing FSU as just a place to secure the money bag, I began to see how I could grow as a leader and as an individual while still securing my future. So, why FSU, you may be asking? Well, if I'm being completely honest, there were 3 deciding factors. 1, FSU was the furthest away from home while still being in state. 4 hours to be exact. 2, the financial aid they offered was pretty good. And 3, there may or may not have been a special someone affecting my decision to come here. I think one of the biggest things that shaped my experience was that I had the opportunity to be a part of the social justice living learning community, which was really cool because I was able to live and learn with some of the coolest and most accepting people on campus. Just being able to start my time here surrounded by people who wanted to get to know me, the real me, and wanted to get to know my background, I thought was pretty cool. I didn't have to prove anything or be someone I wasn't in this group because we were all our own person. This group was literally my family my freshman year, and I wouldn't trade anything for this experience because this is where I started to find out who I was and what I stood for. My freshman year had a lot of ups, but there were obviously some downs. The biggest down, which, now that I look back at it, wasn't even that bad, but it's still worth mentioning. Orientation leader. The first time I applied to be an orientation leader, I didn't end up getting it, and at the time, it seemed like the end of the world because all of my friends who applied did get it. So, needless to say, I was a little upset that I didn't get it. But instead of giving up, like I normally did, I went in and got my feedback. What I was told would set me on a path of self-growth that I'm still going through till this day. They told me, "We didn't see enough of your personality." Hearing this, I came to the realization that even though I was surrounded by people who wanted me to be me, I wasn't being true to myself. So, I set out on a mission with 3 goals in mind. 1, to be more confident. 2, obviously to become an orientation leader. And 3, get this one, be more me. So, how did I do this, you may be asking yourself? Get this. I put myself out there, which may seem a little cliche, but at the time for me, it was like pulling teeth. I started participating more in class, I became a student senator, and I put myself into situations and positions that required me to speak up and to share my perspective. These experiences allowed me to find my voice and to be true to myself. From all this personal growth, I was able to wear those stripes, obviously after some training, with pride, because those stripes exemplified more than just Florida State. For me, wearing the garnet and gold polo meant that all my hard work had paid off and that I had blossomed into someone that was finally ready to wear those stripes. But aside from all of this involvement, coming to college for me was for the education. Being the first in my family to come to college was so nerve-wracking because I felt that I had to live up to all of these expectations, hopes, and dreams of my parents. I had to figure out everything on my own, and I wasn't sure I could do it. But after a breakdown or two, and some amazing friends that got me through this experience, I discovered a strength in myself that I never knew I had. Okay, maybe not that strength. A strength that I could carry with me to graduation and beyond into the real world. I also learned that it didn't matter what my parents wanted. The only thing that mattered was that I was happy doing what I was doing. So, while my Florida State experience may not be over just yet, so far it's been a wild ride, but I will gladly keep riding.